they asked me to test Twitter. So I'm looking and I can see YouTube's still saying sending data. And if you ever wonder what it looks like, let me show you, my loves. Let me see, where is it? Here. So when I'm looking at Restream, I go to here and you can see that it says online, 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 online. That means we are successful. Actually, it doesn't. It just means Restream thinks I'm online. But apparently with Twitter, not always the case. So if you're on Twitter and you can see this at Silk Charm, please let me know. You'd be doing me a huge favour. Other than that, I will keep going. So thank you. YouTube sounds good. Oh, Facebook's sounding good. Excellent. Thank you. We can never be too sure with sounds and stuff. Let me just see if I can get this up a little bit. I'm having a little bit of trouble with this arm. I don't know what I'm doing. It just doesn't seem to want to tighten. And it goes zoop while I'm doing the presentation. All right, so we're doing social media news, and the first thing that I need to investigate is Twitter charging, and who they're charging and how they're charging and what the products and services are. So let me just go to, let me see if I can find some news. If you haven't met me before, I don't know if this will work. No. Okay. My name's Laurel Papworth, and I do social media news on Mondays, and we have a look at just what's been happening in the last week. So I can catch up on the news, and you can as well. We catch up together. And yep, I can see that Restream's not working. So I am definitely going back to OneStream and Switchboard Live. And I have a message for Restream. I'm your client. I'm not your tech support. Telling me to contact Twitter and asking them why your service doesn't work doesn't really work for me, because the first thing I'm going to have to do is say to them, could you go and talk to the developers at Restream, please, because they can't figure it out. So anyway, no point getting upset on a Monday morning. We've got a whole week to get upset. So where are we? We want to have a look at why and what. So let me put this up on the screen for you. Yeah, this will be good. Twitter's calling their upcoming subscription service Twitter Blue, priced at $2.99 for now, including paid features like undo tweets. Collections? Oh, so that's why they've been disabling favorites, is because they want to charge us for the same thing called collections. So what I've been doing with favorites is when people say nice things about a client, I put it in the favorite and then I embed the favorite in the client's website so that people can see live testimonials rather than thinking that the marketing department wrote the testimonials. Don't do that. It's naughty. We use real Facebook and real Twitter, and we embed them back in the website. If you're wondering what it looks like, let me have a look and see if I've got any of mine. They may not be working, because if they're going to start charging for it, then they need to disable it, re-enable it, and give it a new name. Collections, though, could be interesting, because it could be different groups of things that people say or different products. So here's my favorites collection, and people can scroll through. I don't know why. Who listens to testimonials anyway? Almost everybody who comes to me comes from a live person. Like somebody said, go talk to Silk Charms. She helped us. Nice people refer nice people. Not so nice people don't refer nice people. So I try to get rid of not so nice clients because otherwise they'll go and tell their not so nice friends to come and employ me, and I don't want to be in that place. So, all right. 40% increase in Twitter followers. Nice. So that's an embed of, I forgot he said that back in 2015. That's an embed of an actual, like a whole tweet. So I can actually go there and look at the original tweet so that I know it's for reals. I just didn't show that to you, did I? Because I'm an idiot. So there's the tweet. And then and that's on my website. So this is my website. And then I click on that tweet and I can see the original thing, and then I can go and check who the dude is and all that kind of stuff. So I can do it both with favorites and with individual tweets. There's the embed there. I don't know if you can see that on the phone, but if you weren't using a phone, you'd be able to see it. I've just realised I'm absolutely tiny. I mean, I don't want to dominate, but you need to see more than a pinhead, don't you? And what else do we have? And then I have Facebooks in here as well. So I embed Facebook stuff. I can't remember where it is now. You get the general idea. And my testimonials page is really there for clients to see what it looks like when things are embedded. So it is what it is. So that's one of the first things that we're going to get is collections. Save and organize your favorite tweets into collections so they're easier to find later. And I'm assuming embeddable. If they're not embeddable, there is a website that allows you to take those kind of, I don't know what they are, RSS, API, something, and create a widget and embed it. I think the website's called Embed Responsively, because I use it for YouTube playlists. It's quite good. And I think that has a free version. I can't remember if I pay or not. If I do, it's not much, because I don't like to pay a lot. So it's basically folders in a bookmark. So if you've used the Save As feature on Facebook and you've put collections together, like what have I got on Facebook? I've got companies I work with, a Facebook post I want to save, stuff in Marketplace that I want to keep an eye on. They all go on Facebook collections, but of course Facebook doesn't charge for those because Facebook's figured out how to monetize Facebook, and Twitter is still struggling. You know, I said that they would be gone in 2015, I think. I wasn't expecting the American election, so... what else is there? We'll have a look. Again, we're doing this so we can all catch up on what the news is. I'm really disappointed this is not going out to Twitter, and I'm really so annoyed with Restream, and it's got to be you. It's got to be your setup. And I'm running everything at 1280 by 720. So this screen is... The output to my Blackmagic is not, because the cameras are not. But then once Blackmagic's in OBS, I set the OBS stream up to be 1280 by 720. How to make a viral post. Abdul? Oh, you mean this? Yeah. Tell us that things are going to be charged and show us. Wong also suggested Twitter could be looking to some kind of tiered premium arrangement with blue in one tier and review and scroll. I like Substack for newsletters, and I subscribe to quite a few. Do you guys use Substack at all? You can create a newsletter on there, and then you can have a freemium, so a free service and a paid service. And I tend to follow political newsletters on there because what else are you going to do when you've got some downtime but read emails? Review, Substack. Scroll is a subscription service that removes ads from news sites. Okay. So they must do monetize and share that revenue with the news sites. I can't imagine the news sites being happy. So $2 to $3 a month. Now, I heard something else, that Twitter was bringing in a super follower program. This is all back from February, but I've not had time to catch up, okay? You can judge me if you want. If you guys know all about the Twitter fees, let me know. Of course, it's not on Twitter, so nobody's interested, but let's see what The Verge says. Is Verge a paid-for site? So this is the same as the YouTube communities feature, I think. Would you pay for tweets, and who would you pay for them from? Like if I ran private video lectures on Twitter about how to leverage the algorithm on Twitter, would you pay? If I was to show you how to find and measure hashtags on Twitter and to see if they're working and what the return on investment of using hashtags are, would you pay? What would you pay me? $1? Is it worth $1 to know those things? I wonder if it's a monthly sub. A user charges $4.99 a month to receive a series of perks. What perks do you want? It could be access to a community group. So they're bringing in communities, which is groups. Subscription to a newsletter. So that's the Substack thing. Or a badge indicating your support. Would you wear a pink-haired silk charm badge on your Twitter profile to show your support of me? And then how many would you subscribe to? At $4.99 a month, if I want 10 badges, because I like to collect badges. It's a bit like fridge magnets or badges. It's part of gamification. So we often look to gamification for how to monetize social media platforms. And if you've read any of my papers, I've got like 18 different revenue streams for social media platforms, and gamification around leaderboards, badges, collectivism. I won't say collections because they're using collections in a different way, but more like collecting things from the local fast food joint so you get 20, 30 or 100 of them, or collecting things you can sell on eBay. So it's basically fans paying. I've been planning out a series on subscription boxes as part of influencer marketing and where they're positioned within the marketing landscape. So what's the return on investment for subscription boxes? How does social media play into subscription boxes? And if you guys have ever seen the BoxyCharm unboxing videos or any of the fashion unboxing videos, and then there's some tech ones. I subscribe to one. Oh, on science, kind of like science fiction thing. Oh, and I subscribe to a book box. So every month you got sent books, ebooks, real life books, and some other bits and bobs. I think it was on fantasy books. I don't remember. But that unboxing phenomenon is massive. And it's massive because it's influential without having to use influencers. If you've got 2,000 people with 100 followers each putting up an unboxing, that may well have more impact because it's lots of little spotlights across the social media landscape than having one influencer say, I bought this product, or the company sent me this product, or I'm going to do a PR unboxing. And they do so many of them that their followers, the call to action is blunted, if you like. And the cool thing with unboxing is they usually charge their subscription fee. I'm getting off track here because I wanted to just to kind of try and position super follows well and truly within the gamification stream of monetization of social media platforms. which is actually my area of expertise. One of them. Making keto cookies is another one. Direct payment tools. Yeah. So Facebook, YouTube, and even GitHub. Why not GitHub? It's more value than Facebook and YouTube. Direct creator payment. So what you're looking at here is a peer-to-peer. I split up monetization into 4 quadrants, and one of the quadrants is the peer-to-peer marketplace, where the host platform takes a cut of the sale. So this is the Airbnb or the Uber model or eBay. Facebook, of course, could eat eBay's lunch if they do a peer-to-peer model in their marketplace and then add PayPal to marketplace. They'd have to resolve the escrow process. They'd have to resolve security. I guess it's under escrow anyway. They'd have to resolve a few different things. They could even do merchandising, solve for once, for one person, solve it for everyone. So, if the Facebook T-shirt company could pump up millions and millions of T-shirts in peer-to-peer marketplace. But they haven't gone down that route just yet. Crazy for Cats, social justice, plant parents, surf girls. I have a problem. I'd have to use communities on every single platform because the people who take to Twitter like Twitter and they're looking for specific types of content, they're story types, which is how the algorithm identifies the kind of content that people like and then calls those people you're the visual story type, I'm the text story type, that kind of thing. Twitter's very much a text story type. And as much as I like pumping out videos to Twitter, I'm aware of the fact that it's not really a visual platform. Visuals don't work well on there, even though Twitter's continually trying to get you to use it for video. Mind you, they got rid of Twitter Periscope, and they haven't done much with Twitter Live. So I'm not sure about that. I'm just going to check my settings here. Oh yeah, it says resolutions. 1280 by 720 and my FPS is 30. I tried to push the bitrate up to 4000, but it's at 3122. So there we go. They said this afternoon. So when's that? February the 25th. So we don't know if this is coming or not. Or when. I do get the feeling that these guys lurch from idea to idea. And then they don't have a full marketing team to market it like Periscope. I mean, they had the president of the USA using Periscope, but it still doesn't work. So they don't know. And given how much live is taking off on YouTube Live, anybody who can manage Zoom now can manage a live. So I am concerned about it. I think that if Twitter was to map out and have a strategic vision for the next 7 years rather than the next 6 months, slotting this stuff in would work better. That's my humble opinion. I am HO for the old timers. All right, let's keep going. What do we have here? TikTok takes down hundreds of Australian videos in misinformation crackdown. Wait a minute. I think I got this one up earlier. From The Guardian. False COVID claims, including Scott Morrison faked getting his vaccine. Oh, he did not. Among the content removed from the popular platform. We are dancing a very fine line here. If it's not illegal to make false claims, in other words, if there's no regulatory requirement, if there's no law about it, then we're asking American companies to censor Australian citizens. Silly Australian citizens, there is no doubt about it. But where does that end up? How much of our community ethics are we handing across to the boards of tech companies in Silicon Valley? I'll just leave it there. So in February, Facebook, Twitter, Google, Microsoft, Redbubble, Apple, Adobe and TikTok signed a new voluntary industry code. Excellent. Brilliant. Notice that news.com Murdoch is not in that group. And when I complained about morning TV having misinformation, and that misinformation led to the riots in Cronulla, I was the one who got a nasty phone call from the regulatory body saying you can't say that, they're within their rights. They're not a news program, they're an opinion program. We'll see. I'm not sure. I'm not sure this is going where people think it's going to go. So TikTok's, the Pfizer vaccine cellulitis diagnosis was due to receiving AstraZeneca. Well, they're fact-checking. It'll be interesting to see if any facts change over time and whether that's a court case in the making. And no, I'm not being a conspiracy theorist. I'm just saying things that are said at one point can later be proven to be true. And now companies that are censoring have had to sign the Voluntary Act, but have probably not been given any protection by the government. So it is what it is. What else do we have here? Understanding Facebook's ad review process. So exciting, because every time it's something different. This is from May the 20th. It's May the 24th today. Have you had any ads disallowed on Facebook? If you have, please let me know. What do we have here? Can create ads on their page or within Ads Manager. And then they can use existing content. We call this boosting content. And you can boost content through Ads Manager or directly on the page. So you can use either. So we've got the advertising policies. I actually run an RSS feed from I force an RSS feed from all of these pages that the script says, if this page changes, let me know. And oh boy, does it change. You've got commerce policies, community guidelines, ad policies. There's policies around promotions, which includes competitions. So there's a lot of different terms and conditions you've got to read. So there's an automated review. It's allowed to run, and in some cases it goes to human review, and then it's either allowed to run or it's rejected. If it's rejected, you have to edit the ad or request another review, and then it'll either go into allowed to run or it'll be disallowed. There's a few things here that's not in the drawing, but one of them is verified accounts, that you'll need to verify an account for certain issues. I think it's called issues. Politics. YMYL, Your Money, Your Life, which is money, credit cards, that sort of thing, jobs, real estate, a whole lot of things sit under there. So they should have something in here which says needs verification. And what else? Yeah, I think that's kind of it. Investigate advertiser behavior. So if you have a lot of ad rejections, you get to sit on the naughty step. And again, really interesting, because leading off of the other one, I've seen politicians political party ads disallowed, Australian political party ads that are legal here, disallowed by Facebook as not meeting their standards, but those ads would be allowed in traditional media, in traditional news. And so we're in that situation where we have Americans in Silicon Valley or juniors in Singapore, New Zealand, or down at Barangaroo, wherever they're pulling in their human reviewers, making decisions about what can be politically placed in front of people. They're making decisions about our democracy. I don't want to get into the whole Trump being banned thing. That's an excessive thing. I'm talking about a fairly basic ad being disallowed by an American either algorithm, but I noticed that it was not allowed later. So I don't know if that meant that the social media manager did not redo it. I don't know if it contravened. I can't remember now. I think it says on there why it wasn't allowed, but it just said political. So maybe the social media manager wasn't verified, or maybe it hadn't been marked as a issues ad. But there's a lot of things that go on in this space. Drives me bonkers. Trying to sort this out for clients, I tell you. I've got to the point now where when an ad's rejected, I go, and then just try and fix it. Whereas I notice that young, new social media managers are in tears. They've got no idea what they've done wrong. What else do we have here? Why is Facebook all in the news? Oh, I suppose Twitter is as well. LinkedIn doesn't really do a lot, does it? TikTok, we just talked about TikTok. Okay, so we can talk about Facebook a bit more. Ireland's data regulator has given Facebook 6 weeks to respond to an investigation. Okay, so what we're going to have is geo-fenced data. I wonder if I can just get rid of all this crap on the page. Yeah, I can. And don't yell at me. I've already seen the ad. It's already been playing. It may trigger a ban on the social media giant's transatlantic data transfers that may not respect the privacy rights of EU citizens when their personal data is sent to Silicon Valley for commercial use. So it's not that surprising, because every country, nation has its own regulations around data and who can use what data. Here in Australia, I'm pretty sure we've got hardly any limitations, given that our government works with big data brokers who are in turn working with Facebook and Twitter. So I think that there's been a little tap on the shoulder there, and they're fine with that kind of data transfer because they're making use of it themselves. But obviously the data regulator has stepped in. Who is Australia's data regulator? Don't tell me the Privacy Commission, because I know it's not. It's got to be someone else. So that's given me some homework to do. I'm going to have a look up who Australia's data regulator is. We've only got a few more minutes left. Data Protection Commissioner. And this is the issue, because in Australia we have at least one, small, but one big data broker who collects all of the information from banks and how you use your credit cards, from Woolworths, Woolworths owns health insurance and mortgage, and every time you fill in a form, it collects all that data and acts as the middle person with the platforms. So the Facebooks and the Twitters and the LinkedIn, it's not just Facebook, it's all of them. I should probably go to this one when I'm chatting to you. I've not seen anything where that's being questioned. In fact, those data brokers list the government departments that they're working with and collecting data from and giving data to. So I think we're screwed. So there's going to be a company spokesman for Facebook looked forward to defending its compliance with EU rules as the Irish regulator's provisional order could be damaging not only to Facebook but also to users and other businesses. And this is what they mean. You can create an ad and target people not only for their on Facebook behavior, but for their off Facebook behavior. This is why there's all those issues at the moment about pixel retargeting and pixels being removed from Safari and Firefox and soon from Chrome on desktops and being removed from iOS, and probably Android will follow shortly as well. And then there won't be tracking you through websites using browser pixels. You can still access it from the back end, from first party, meaning it's not the browser that delivers the information, it's the plugin on the website. But when you create the ad, you can not only use the pixels, but you can also use purchasing behaviors. People who've purchased a house in the last 3 months, I want to sell them curtains. Or people who purchased a car, I want to sell them car insurance. And so it hurts those businesses because they're using our private information to target us. And it's supposed to hurt us because we're not getting timely ads. If you have just bought a car, do you need an ad? My problem is people are vulnerable at particular times. And this is one of the areas that I think Facebook needs to be, and not just Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, all of them need to step up. Your money, your life, YMYL. We are not going to target you, I don't know, with what? With funeral homes when you've just used your credit card to pay for, I don't know, not a cremation, paid a credit card for a terminal hospice service of some kind. Because that's just bloody rude. But Facebook would say that that hurts the user, me, because I've just had this major loss and here's somebody willing to give me a funeral home service discount coupon. It hurts the funeral home because they can't target families who've just lost someone. And it hurts Facebook because they don't get the money. I think it's a really spurious argument. Opting in and out and making that opt-in and out has to be so much simpler. And Google how to find a list of advertising platforms that give you the option to log out, and then realize how many thousands of them you have to go into, click the link, give them information, and then say turn off targeting. I mean, I know Facebook does off Facebook ads, and that obviously Google has Google ads, but there's literally thousands and thousands of these platforms. And there ain't nobody looking into it for us and trying to protect us. In fact, what you have typically is the government signing up for it and using that data, which is pretty annoying. All right, it's 11:29. We're a few minutes early, but I think that will be enough for today. If you come across any news that you would like me to cover in the Monday news, please send it through to me. And Monday, let me put up my little screen here. Oh no, it's not on there. I forgot it's on another one. I haven't set it up. All right, Mondays, 10:45 a.m. Sydney time, more or less, depending on how the tech is going, is when I do social media news for the week. And it's also when I test all my tech setup, my Sony ZV-1, my Blackmagic Atom, my Rode mic, my green screen with the photo by Gary Hayes, and other things. Oh, Stream Deck, OBS, Restream, Switchboard, whatever I'm using, and I test things. And then we go through the news so that I can catch up on the news. Thursdays is the structured lecture. Thursdays at 1 p.m. Same bat time, same bat channel. And this Thursday is part of a series I'm doing, which is a little bit more basic, getting started on social media. Last week we did understanding algorithms on social media. This week it's setting up communities, groups, and then the kind of things to do in those groups to improve engagement, the gamification elements, how to run courses through Facebook groups using the social learning functions, and a whole range of things like that. So it's, if you've been thinking about moving from a page to a group, that might be of interest to you. Or if you're thinking of attaching your group to a Facebook page, and in this case, it's such a shame Twitter's stuff it's not live, is it? Twitter communities isn't live. Let me just do a quick check, because not everything comes in at the right time. No, it's still from Feb and March, people talking about it, nothing saying launched in May. And then you can transpose the gamification elements and the onboarding elements and all that kind of stuff in a group to any group that you're running. I run a private community within my course platform. I run LinkedIn groups, or I have run, I'm not currently adminning any. I probably should do that again. LinkedIn's a funny one though. And Facebook groups, and then maybe we'll talk on Thursday a little bit more about Twitter communities, because I'll need to do the research anyway. So if you're interested in a lecture on how to run online groups, online communities, those kind of peer-to-peer spaces, as opposed to the broadcast messaging of a company page or a business page, then come along for that. And this video was sponsored by me. So, yeah, whatever. I hope you found that interesting. Thanks, Abdul, Gary, and everybody, a few other people who commented. I do appreciate it. And I will see you on Thursday at 1 p.m. Sydney time, or next Monday at 10:45. Monday, Sydney time. If you have any questions, please let me know. Abdul, I'm going to rework your question as how to make a viral post, and then take it as a question directly to me, so that we might do a session on that. Maybe not next Monday, but we will do a session on that one. Thanks everybody. Talk to you soon.